clean your room. Go upstairs, clean your room.
Clean your room.
Clean
No,
your
you are dirty.
room.
I think that's dirty. I do think that that is dirty.
I was
That
like, you
level
have no
of
idea what
clutter
is hidden
is
underneath there.
dirty.
This is Shana
And Kris.
and we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right. This week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have DTR, which is an acronym for Define the Relationship. Some people are probably sending a DTR text. DTR, my sentence is DTR is a conversation between romantic partners to establish expectations and boundaries for their relationship. It's like what are we?
Just
like,
wanted to
I
check
didn't see
in.
the text. I didn't see the text. It's like,
Just wanted to check in.
It's like, do you have your read receipts on? Read receipts?
Not. No,
No.
not in general. There's
Okay.
a lucky couple of people who
Yeah, same.
have my read receipts, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Same. I feel like it's just two people, like my wife and maybe my mom.
I was about to laugh
I
if you
don't
said your
know. I
cousin.
don't know. It might actually be my cousin. I think it is
I wouldn't
Chelsea.
be
Because I was like,
surprised.
I don't think so. Because my mom and me have the same texting styles and communication styles because it came from her. So we'll text and then she'll like be gone and then come back. So, and I do the same. So it would be pointless for us to be like, she read it and didn't answer. It's like, that is like my mom, when we talk on the phone, like she will pick up the phone and then somebody will call her inevitably on her house phone and she'll just have a conversation and I have to so
And just sit and
yeah, I
wait.
would never. Yeah. And wait. Well, I'll say mom, like, because, no, too many years of this. I'll be 36 in 10 days. I have had at least 28 years of her doing that. And doing that in person. She used to do that at work too.
Mm.
But I would never care what time she read a message and all that. So I feel like it's only for romantic partners that it matters. Like, you did see it. I saw that you saw it.
Yeah, I know. And that part just, it also
Which
stresses
is
me
so
out
stupid. Yeah.
too. Like, it very much stresses me out too, because then I'm just like, oh no, like if I accidentally checked it, then it's like, it looks like I read it and then I didn't respond and now I look like an asshole.
Right,
It's so
right.
read receipts are stressful.
They are. They are. Or yet, like you said, it's open. Like maybe the message was open, or you just like maybe skimmed it. It doesn't mean that you really fully took it in, but it
Mm-hmm.
still is. It timestamps right there. So
Timestamps right there.
yeah. So this is kind of the read receipts of, hey, where are we? I know you know. I know you saw this. Don't
Hey,
avoid this conversation.
just
What
checking
are we?
in.
DTR. Here we go. That's for our old heads that don't know what that is, because I didn't know. So
Oh wow, welcome.
mhm.
Welcome.
I haven't DTR'd anybody
You
in a
haven't had
while.
to.
So yeah, I
You haven't
haven't.
had to. Congratulations.
Haven't,
Congratulations.
well, on a wedding level, but
Yeah, and
that's marriage
that's
counseling.
investment. That is
Right.
investment is what
That
you
is
did.
therapy. I am in
Okay?
regular
That's not
therapy.
DTRing. That is
DT.
investing.
Yeah,
That is starting a new
exactly.
business
Yeah.
in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 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 So what you got?
My Queer Urban Dictionary word of the week is leather daddy. I don't know how official this definition is, so just take it for what it is. A leather daddy is an older, financially established man who likes leather, usually into BDSM, and is, on most occasions, the dominant one. My sentence is leather daddies outside of their leathers, which I did not know you could pluralize, tend to also be bears.
Others.
Leathers.
I've always liked it. I feel like it's in older movies. Leathers.
Mm.
Yeah. But my mom watched a lot of westerns. I think it's in westerns a lot,
Why is
maybe.
that a
I might
thing
be
for
tripping.
Black parents? My dad
They
watches
love
Westerns.
it. My mom
And
has
then
a
my mom's
western
cousin
channel.
loves Westerns. And they come, and when they
Girl,
visit, they sit for hours and watch
hours.
Westerns.
Gunsmoke, all them. They love. There has to be a study on it. It has to be because that's what they grew up with. Like, obviously they grew up with like two, three, stations to watch in a lot
Mm.
of cases. So they were forced to watch a lot of these things because of course I had to be there. I had to check myself with that because I had to be the one to be like, we're like the Native Americans aren't bad in this. It's the white people, like, you know. And it's just like, and she's like, oh, but you know, that's they don't care. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
Mm-hmm.
grew up with. So, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna leave her alone. They love the Westerns. My mom has a Western
Love.
channel.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Same.
Watching that Yellowstone. So she
Yeah.
likes up to date Western. So she's the Yellowstone fan. She's trying to get me to watch that. I
Mm-hmm.
think there's some Tulsa King thing that's Westerny with
Mm-hmm.
Sly Stone. Sylvester Stallone. So yeah, Western. Black people love Western and Kung Fu. My grandma
Yeah.
loved martial arts movies. She loved Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. How about that?
How
Look at those
about
deep
that?
dives.
Look at these. Look, the last couple of weeks we've been in this opening learning some
Been
stuff.
some good
So
ones. Yeah.
congratulations on this journey. Let's go ahead. We got
Hmm.
lots to talk about one specific topic. So we're gonna get through some of these topics, and you all already know. If you're not watching Love is Blind, you know that's what we're majority talking about. So here we are. Praise, pray tell. Our first category is we are under 30 days until the
Girl.
election.
Isn't that crazy?
How did we get here?
We are here,
I wonder
y'all.
how Kamala feels since she jumped into this so late.
So
Has
late.
she slept? Don't know.
Probably hasn't.
Don't
She's
know.
had her media blitz. That's one of our things. We might as well start there with her making her media rounds because they've been talking about
Hmm.
she's not anywhere. They complain about her all the time. She's either
Of
not doing
course they
enough,
do.
not doing mainstream, of course. But she did Call Her Daddy podcast. Is it Call Me Daddy or Call Her Daddy? Is it
Call her
Call Her
daddy.
Daddy? Call
Hmm.
Her Daddy. Do you listen to that? I know she
Hmm.
makes a lot of money.
Hmm. That.
Do you listen to it?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, I've never listened to it,
Mm-mm.
but shout out to her for all that money. All the Smoke, she was on 60 Minutes, Late Night with Colbert, Howard Stern. I know she's done some the smaller outlets. But yeah, Kamala's on the push. She said it's been about 70 days since she got the word, you know, so and that's crazy to think. She will have the shortest presidential campaign ever.
Hmm.
But can't imagine what her last 70 days have been like. It's pretty nuts. So,
Yeah.
but we're
And
here.
with voting being open in some places as well. I just got my mail-in ballot.
Same.
So
Voting this weekend.
that
Happy
thing is
to vote.
thick. That thing is
Mm-hmm.
thick. And I was like, yep, my research has happened. It's been happening.
Yeah.
Making sure I get all of the stuff and making sure I'm ahead of it. I got asked recently at an event, and influencers were outside talking about your voting, and they were like, "What are you wearing on voting day?" And I was just like, "Probably my Nike jumpsuit because I'll be at home because
Yeah. I'm not doing
I
this in
switched to
person.
permanent vote by mail so that I don't have to see
Yeah.
y'all." Thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, it is the most like I wouldn't ever want to go to a polling place if I can help it. Like
Hmm.
mail-in voting is the only way for me. For now. At least. I was like, I don't know what in the future they'll come up with. But
Hmm.
the ballot is downstairs. It's getting cast this week and all that. I've seen people, express obviously the pride of being able to vote for Kamala and all that. And yeah, we are under 30 days. I really can't believe it. It's been quite a sprint.
Hmm.
So meanwhile, Kamala's opponents and his glazers have just been wilding.
Lasers.
Climate change has been the October surprise. I saw Kevin mention that on his platform. It really has been. So here in the US, we've had back-to-back hurricanes. It is hurricane season. Hurricane season has progressively gotten worse. And now it's just kind of the bigger culmination, I think, of everybody being like, oh my God, like, holy shit, like it is pretty
Hmm.
bad. So a couple weeks ago at the end of September, start top of October, Hurricane Helene came through the Gulf and through Western Florida. It was a massive storm. Like it was like big geographically
Hmm.
and all that. So a lot of destruction in its path, deaths across this different states in the South. Particularly western part of North Carolina got hit hard. They're not used to getting that much rain and getting hurricanes. So prayers to everybody who's lost their lives in that storm. Milton, as of recording, just passed through um, Florida yet last night.
Hmm.
So they're still updating and doing recovery and in disaster, kind of first day cleanup. So I know there's been fatalities. There was a lot of tornadoes that touched down, but still news is still coming in. So It's been crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's been in just a 2 week span. It hit pretty much the same area. This time it went out into the Atlantic Ocean for Milton. But yeah, like it should be something that we all can, shed political affiliations and ideologies and whatever and be like human to human come together, but not Trump and them. They have been out here spreading lies, politicizing this whole thing. Because Margie Taylor Greene was she the first one to say that the government is controlling the weather? I think she was the first one
Mm-hmm.
to pop out, and then the
Mm-hmm.
rest of them backing it up. And it's just like I cannot believe this election is this close. And I'm talking about down the ballot, not just with Trump. I don't understand how Republicans have jobs. Like they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even after they've hundreds of them voted against disaster relief or a FEMA bill just to make things harder. So it's just like I don't understand how it's even close.
Yeah.
I
I
look at
wonder
the
if they
difference
switch
between the two
now that all of their
parties.
vacation homes have been flooded.
Listen, it,
I
it
just
is
I just need to know.
until they're in Florida, the constituents are pressing them because I saw a couple of Republicans say like don't listen to Trump and don't listen to some of my colleagues, referring to Margie Taylor Greene about like the government controlling the weather. Like, what are we doing? Like Biden came out today, it was like it's so stupid. Like it's gotta stop. Like everybody's just like, we are tired.
Mm-hmm.
There's storms, there's disaster, people lost lives, property, normalcy. Like it is a hurricane is as any other natural disaster is so devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about the government controlling the weather and doing this on purpose. So very unserious on that side, but it's still close. And that's why everybody has to make sure they vote, that they're registered to vote, check your registration status and have a voting plan. I feel like the choice is clear, but here we are.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's all we have to say about that. Let's go off to our next category is we're talking about the WNBA Finals, which start tonight as of our recording. The first game against the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. If you did not see, or if this is the only way that you're keeping up with sports, the last game, New York Liberty beat the Las Vegas Aces on the Aces home court. It was
Mm.
unfortunate. It was one of those like unfortunate ones. Like we had hopes that it was going to go into the fifth game and then
Mm-hmm.
it just did not. New York Liberty
Yeah.
came out and said, we are going to have a time. Sabrina Ionescu had a time. Jonquil Jones had a time. Brianna Stewart had a time. So everything was just working for the New York Liberty. We have
Yeah.
been saying that while we hoped for the Aces to push through, we had a solid feeling that this was New York Liberty's year. Each of the teams have gone back and forth winning on each of their courts. And this year it was the New York Liberty after the Aces won on their court last year. So New York Liberty is out here. The Connecticut Sun and the Minnesota Lynx went all the way to the fifth game.
Mm, mm, mm,
It was
mm.
back to back. Lots of aggression, lots of physicality, lots of drama. It was a good time. It was a good time for
Wow, it's a
everybody.
good time. That was a
Good
good
time for everybody.
series. Hmm.
I really enjoyed that series, but man, Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Will not be denied.
Mm-mm-mm.
Will not be denied. Yeah.
Out here, dropping everything. Everything. Just
Yeah.
having a time. A full time. And I love this
A
for
full
her.
time.
Love it for
Yeah.
her. Still love seeing all the Bash brothers of Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner and Dejanay Carrington and Marina Mayberry coming out there doing the things. It was great. One player who I hate that I forget her name in this moment, but she played for South Carolina. She was out for an ankle injury and then got subbed in and was just making it rain. And she was able to make it into the
Mm.
starting lineup by the final game of the series. So that was really awesome to be able to see that too. Congratulations to you. I'm so sorry that I forget your name in this moment. But now we got the Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty. Here's the thing about this game. We have speed and shots versus height and body and Sabrina Ionescu
Mm-hmm.
with the main stuff. I have no idea who in the paint is going to guard Brianna Stewart and Jonquil Jones. I know
Mm-hmm.
that they have played each other before. I'm gonna look up. Hold on. I'm gonna look up the history
I
of their
think the
previous
Lynx
games.
won the season
The Lynx
series
ones.
against.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
know
need
they
to
won the
know.
Commissioner's Cup, but I think they won the actual like head to head for the season against each other. So like, it's going to be competitive, but you're right. You would think that because of Stewie and Jonquil, like who's gonna guard both of them? But yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
the Lynx are they're just a really good team. Like they just all work really well together.
It's like I need the
Like
summary. Okay, so when they played each other in May, which was like I think that's the only time that they played each other this season, which was like the start of the season. They won 84-67. That was their regular season game, 84-67 in May. So those are two
they only
whole.
played each other once. That's
I
crazy.
don't know if that's
I
accurate.
feel like yeah,
I'm
would
so
have
sorry. We should have done this ahead of
swapped.
time.
It's all right. They love our live Googles. Where are they gonna go? Look,
Please
skip
stay.
ahead 15
Please stay.
seconds. Yeah.
Please stay.
Skip ahead 15 seconds. That's what you're supposed to do.
um, no.
Let's see.
How many times have the Minnesota Lynx and New York Liberty played each other? Look, ask the chat GPT.
So I see on ESPN there was a May 25th game,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lynx won.
Mm-hmm.
And then July 2nd, they
Oh, there
lost
we
to New
go.
York.
Okay.
Yeah. So they played each other twice. I feel like everybody plays each other twice, at least. Um, so yeah, they actually split the head-to-head season series
Look
with
at this.
things.
Look at this.
All right. So what are your predictions? What do you think? What's in your heart? Who is winning the championship this year?
Mm. Oh, they also hold on, hold on, hold on. They dominated the league, but faced significant challenge from Minnesota Lynx, who
You
took
might
out
have to skip ahead
three.
another 15
I'm
seconds.
so sorry. I chat GPT'd this.
It's
So
it's totally fine.
New York Liberty
They're gonna be fine.
finished, and but uh obviously the New York Liberty dominated the league, but faced a
Right.
significant challenge from the Minnesota Lynx, who took 3 out of 4 games against the Liberty during the regular season. This included the Lynx victory in the 2024 Commissioner's Cup, where they beat them 94-89.
Oh, I see this regular season one started down here. No, June 25th. Is that one up here?
I was like, I don't
Let's
know.
see.
I just chat GPT'd it. So
Huh.
hopefully we're not lying. Thank you, chat GPT.
You're not. Oh, but they have it separated out on
Yeah.
ESPN. So interesting. Okay.
You're like, fast forward 15 more seconds. So
It's
yes.
yeah, it's fine.
So this should
It's
actually
fine.
be a fun time because the New York Liberty are going to come in with a vengeance. But honestly, I think the New York Liberty have put on some sort of burners coming into this
Oh
last
yeah. They got the
stretch.
momentum.
But
They got the momentum.
man, we can't deny the impact that Nafisa Collier has and the way that the team is showing up. Courtney Williams is looking good. Like there's so
I
many people that are out
know.
here
They are.
looking good on the court that I'm like, if the Minnesota Lynx continues to shoot the way that they're shooting, they're gonna take this.
Yes, but I really think it's just the Liberty have never won a championship, right? Like they've been in the finals, but this would
Hmm.
be their first championship,
Live
right?
Googles. Hold on, ChatGPT, come
I
back.
think it is, which is crazy, like to
That is
think, but I
crazy.
don't think they've ever won a championship. And I'm like, they have to win one. Like this is like, come on.
No, they've won a championship, but I think it
It
was
says
like,
0 championships, three
what?
conference titles, one Commissioner's Cup. Isn't that crazy? They are a not birthright team, original team. Like they have been in the league since its inception in 97 and they have
Yeah,
not won a
that's
championship.
that's wild to me.
Yeah.
I'm double checking
So
it.
I they could obviously lose because they have, but I just think they cannot lose this. They have to figure it out. I just feel like they put it together after that heartbreaking loss in the finals last year. I just feel like they put it together as a team. Like,
This
the
is upsetting.
additions that they made, like they have to win this. Like, they have to win this. I don't
With
know. They have to win
the
this.
Do you
And
know
I'm
how
not
many
even a fan.
times they've been to the finals?
I how many times?
They've been to the finals in 97, 99, 2000, 2002, and then
Oh,
2023, and now 2024.
they have to win this.
And while they
Okay?
remain one of the most competitive teams, they
Have to win.
remain strong contenders for future championships. So
My
really, They
God.
have to have the Minnesota Lynx.
Have to. Oh
Minnesota
yeah,
Lynx has. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have.
No,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have.
yeah.
I
Look,
said that and
Maya
then my
Moore,
bad. My bad. My bad.
all
My bad.
them. Yeah,
My bad. I take it
yeah.
back. Please don't
Yeah,
yell
it
at
was
me.
funny. Look,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a
you're
fan. I'm a fan.
backpedaling like homeboy that just went to the Knicks. He was on the Cat. He had said,
Don't
"I
do
hope
that. Don't
Minnesota.
do that.
I hope they get a championship," and they lit him up. They're like, the Lynx have brought
Don't do that.
numerous championships
Don't do
to
that.
Minneapolis.
Don't do that.
So
I know what I
yeah,
did. As soon as I said it, I realized what I did. I
you're
am
like,
so
oh
sorry.
no. I was
Maya Moore,
like,
I
the
love you.
Lynx.
I was like, Maya Moore, I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. I just had a
But
brain
yeah,
freeze.
the Liberty they have to win. Like, can you
Wow.
imagine
Do you
losing
know how
again? Like,
fun
my God.
New York would be on that return? I might have to
Whew.
go back. Might have to go back just to
Yeah,
celebrate.
you're right there. You're right there. You're right there. That would be something for them. And they should, though. I mean,
Yes.
again, the Lynx have been these are 1 and 2, right? They're the 1 and 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So they both deserve to win, of course. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like the Liberty just have it. Like, there's such a good chemistry going. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, that they turned the burners on. Like, they're playing championship basketball.
Yeah.
But so are the Lynx. So, and the
Yeah.
Lynx just have that pedigree. They're they win championships. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that's
It's true. So
I
this is
don't
about to
know.
be a great
I
series.
don't
I'm
know.
very excited to watch after this. New York Liberty. We will
Y'all
put
have
the
to win
energy
this.
out there
Y'all
for you.
have to win this.
Bad Queers will put
Uh,
our energy behind you and the
yeah.
things that you can
Daedry,
accomplish.
I hope y'all
Deidre,
take it.
we're rooting for you and your team. Okay. I
Ooh,
just shout out to you, friend. Um, this is going to be a great series.
yeah.
I'm very excited to
Either
watch
way.
right after we finish this recording. We're going to hang up and we're going to go watch, and it's going to be
Yeah.
great. So,
Yeah.
great. All
Ooh
right.
wee.
To our most important category is of the night.
Mm. Mm.
The fact that Kris and I have caught up this quickly to Love is Blind. We are 100% caught up as of this recording. So this will be like one of the first times that we actually do our review before the next set of episodes comes out. We're on time. This is very
Yeah.
exciting for us, and I am so proud of us.
We're doing this for
Kris,
DC. That's why.
Kris, we are doing
We are
this
doing this for
for
DC.
DC. I literally
We're
yesterday
doing this for
watched like
DC.
6 episodes and then watched 2 more today to get it all
Wow.
up to
Yeah.
date. So I
It's pretty
was
crazy.
ready. This season, I was cracking up because my friend, so obviously the category is Love is Blind, episodes 1 through 9 review. This season, my friend texted me and she was like, I am so angry at this season. She was like, it almost made me stop watching, all of the things. That meant I knew it was for me. I
Yeah.
knew that it was for me, and I knew that the mess was going to be strong because that is what DC should be bringing. This season is slowly becoming a reality TV show. I don't know how much longer they have in the US to have like a genuine Love is Blind because
Girl, the way
mess,
they going, the way they're going.
mess.
So how do you feel about the earlier episodes? Like, what stands out notable? Because the real, like, let's get to the shit
Uh,
in the episodes that just came
uh,
out. But like, what do you think of the earlier episodes and just the couples who coupled up? Like
oh my
those early
gosh.
episodes. Because I'll be honest with you, like episodes like 1 and 2, I was a little bored.
Hmm.
Like I was like, oh, okay, like this is,
It's all the cute stuff.
okay,
Well, that's the thing. I love the cuteness. I love when everybody thinks that like every single little thing that they find that's in common is like, yeah, we love it here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're just so
See,
joyous.
and
And I
that
sit
is
there
so annoying.
smiling like a fucking fool looking at the
Really?
TV. I do because I fucking
Girl.
love. And so when
Yeah.
they sit there and they get all giddy and do all of the little things, and I'm like, oh, just you wait as well. So I'm just like, I want to see what they say. I want to see what they promise because they overpromise
They
early.
overpromise.
They
Like,
pull a lesbian U-Haul early behind these walls without seeing
yeah.
anybody. And so they're just like, oh my God, did I just find the love of my life? And I'm like, because both of you like goldfish? Like what do you
And
mean?
that's the thing. I guess it's because they make such lofty, I mean, it's very lesbian coded. Like it is, they make such lofty statements. And I'm like, it is like day what? 3? Like they get
Mhm.
like 10 days, I think, that they do this, that they stay in these pods. We've always talked about like what the behind the scenes probably looks like. I don't know how long their production day is.
Mhm.
Me and Shalay were joking about like the gold goblets and like acting like producers being like, hey girl, how you doing? I haven't seen you take a sip in a while. Like we know the reality TV show tricks of like them trying to get contestants to drink and you know, just long production days and stuff like that. So sometimes it's like, are y'all saying this just to like obviously make the show, but just like y'all are tired? Like this is a form of torture. Like, how long have you been talking to these people? Because ain't no way I'm just gonna meet somebody in 10 days and be like, I just feel like we'd never argue. We're just so perfect for each other. Like it is so extreme, you know, some of the things. And but obviously that's the show, you know. So the earlier stuff is cute. Obviously, you're getting to know people. I can't say that, yeah, like episodes 1 and 2. I was just, you know, you're just feeling people out. And it's like, okay, you know, I'm just like, okay, we'll see. Yeah. See early sparks and everything, chemistry, but it got better from like episode 3 on for me, where I was like, oh, okay. Especially when they get out of the pods. That's when, for me, is when they get out of the pods is when the show starts for me, for real. Because all that shit in the pods, like it's, you know, cool. It's all set up shit, but like, get out of these pods. Let's see.
Get out of these pods.
Get out of these pods.
No, I was like, the pods, to high level talk about the pods were a mess. The love triangles were the dumbest love triangles that I have ever seen. The Brittany, Leo, Hannah, Nick love triangle was the most unnecessary one. This is the first time that we've ever had a couple not work out and we really didn't have a recap or a reflection on them disappearing. They just disappeared.
Yeah, Brittany and Leo. Yeah, that was so cringy. First off, Leo, red flag after red flag, but
gaslight after gaslight.
Oh, that too. But like, first off, when he had said, in like, you know, rest in peace to his family, but I was like, God damn, his whole family just was like, I guess wiped out, like all past and everything. It was like on both sides. It was like, I feel like he's in this very emotionally. Like I was like, he's looking to just have somebody as like a trophy wife, which coincidentally, Brittany is trying to be a trophy wife. I loved her for being like, this is the most I've ever written. And it was like 1 page of things.
It was front and
when
back.
They had their thing
in
front and back.
It very much gave Legally Blonde.
Yeah. So I mean, if he wasn't so fucking weird, Brittany might have been like, you know what? Why not? You know, because Leo flashed his wealth. He, I guess, comes from an art dealing family and everything. Talked nonstop about his wealth, his Rolex, all these things.
I don't want somebody to want me for my money,
Christ.
but I'm going to talk
only talking
all
about
my money because my money is my personality.
Yeah. Hannah, I like, fun girl, Gen Z, younger, one of the younger ones in the pod. I thought her and Leo were never going to work, and thank God. Leo's crazy. So Hannah, I like. Nick,
you like her?
I like Hannah enough.
After everything that we've seen, you like Hannah.
Hannah with Nick. Nick is the kicker, right?
Yeah.
I like Hannah. Hannah's okay.
No, she's not.
Hannah
is terrible.
The party white girl,
the
one that's the one who's like about her shit. The one that it was like pasta versus Nick. Nick couldn't find the pasta. That girl, the one who's been on her own since 18. Yeah, I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's bad. Yeah, no.
She's the worst.
Really? I don't think so. The later episodes was fine. Yeah, once she got out of the pods, she was fine.
She's been worse since she got out of the pods.
Out of the pods? Not to me. She's not been the worst. We're gonna get to the worst.
She was better in the pods than she was outside the pods.
The worst for me. Yeah, no, we disagree on that. We disagree.
Well, I'm okay with that because the way that
her getting out of the pods and learning that she's been on her own for a while made me be like, okay, she's about her shit. Like she's about her shit.
She is about her shit, and there's a bit of gaslighting for her, but she is just mean. She's also a mean.
She is not the meanest on here.
She's not the meanest, but she is mean. And the way that she just knocks everybody else down because she's covering up her own insecurities about herself and does that to Nick fully. Like watching that has me flash back to like relationships I was in, and I was just like, no, that's why
you're triggered by
you are a problem.
Yeah,
she's showing the clear behaviors every time. Yeah. Like nothing can happen. That man walked in the house for 2 seconds, and she was like, "You didn't take the trash out." Now we're gonna sit down and have a whole conversation about taking the trash out. We're gonna talk about finances, but you're not gonna sit and have it be like an aligned time to be like, "Let's sit and talk about finances." Instead, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that like you are not responsible and you're basically dumb because you don't have your finances together. She said that she turned him him from a boy to a man.
But she did.
What part of in what
Nick
in
didn't
4
know
days?
how to boil
In
water.
4 days,
Listen, I
he was asking
understand
a
what you're
single
saying.
question.
I
I'm not
understand
saying
what
that
you're
Nick is
saying.
the top of the crowd or whatever else, but I'm
Yeah.
saying the ways that she goes about it are problematic.
The
And if
way
she
that
had
she
somebody that she was
delivers
dating
things,
that was more confident,
the way that
take
she
that shit.
delivers these things could be better. She's young and she's been on her own, so she's had to work hard. Where she is matched up with someone who is pampered. His mom said he's pampered and everything. He's looking for a stronger woman. Now she could deliver things a little differently, even when her brother came over and everything in the later episodes.
That
Like
was wild.
I'm like, that's just how she is. Like, yeah, she says, and he said it too. He confirmed. He was like, like she'll always say something mean or take it there with people, but when they do it to her, then it's going too far. So yeah, she need to work on that. But I'm just like, is she the worst out of here? No, we're gonna
No,
get to the
definitely not
worst.
saying
We're
she's the
gonna get to the
worst,
worst.
but
Yeah.
I will identify the problems. I also need to know why, after meeting her parents, why she was left on her own at 18.
I know because they seem so sweet, but
I need that mystery.
I can listen. She's a wild girl too. Like I'm not saying Hannah's perfect and everything. She's been annoying on some things. I thought like the ick with the whole riding the
The
duck thing.
duck.
It's like she's a little overboard with that. Even though I was
I was
like,
like, y'all
he
forced
ain't
that
have to do
drama
all that.
real hard.
Yeah, I was like, this is a little weird for both of y'all, honestly.
Mhm.
But I think Nick is so like, fam. He
Nick,
don't know
Nick
how
needs to
to.
get it
He
together.
don't know. Can you?
How did
Is
he
it
make it
three
on the show?
quarters? How do you boil water? And then he like no some pasta is refrigerated, but he's just where's the pasta? Like she needs to have more patience for sure. But and she's
Hmm.
clearly again because she's lived on her own and been on her own has that guard up thing of like this is how I want things done. This is for sure. Yes,
Hmm.
that's annoying shit. But Nick also is like, God damn, Nick. Like I bet he's probably annoying as fuck. Like
Oh,
and doesn't clean
there are
because he's been
definitely
pampered.
things. There are
Oh,
definitely things. I was like, not perfect in any way, but it's like, man, a lot of the things that she does are, I just want to
it's crazy.
recognize the
I wouldn't want
things.
that, but yeah, Nick looks like a kicker. You know how he plays football when he was a kid. I was like, he looks like
He
a
tried to be so cool on the
stereotypical.
football team.
Yeah,
He tried to be
for
so cool.
sure. Yeah, for sure. um, so we'll get back to them.
Mm,
Let's go to another couple.
mm,
Who do
mm.
you want to talk about next? Let's
Let's
talk
do let's do
about
Marissa and Ramses.
yeah. Okay, what do you think of
I
them?
feel like
They
we're building
like
up.
a
We're
Shea
building up.
Moisture commercial and all that. They are so cute together and have
They are
such great,
cute.
honest conversations.
I
And
think.
yeah, I love
Sorry,
them.
no, you finish. You finish. My bad. I just got
Yeah,
too
that's it.
excited.
I mean, her kind of triangle. I forgot what was the white boy's name she was
Bodhi.
talking to? Bodhi. Yeah, like she stepped out on again, not going with the typical kind of military guy, even though Bodhi wasn't so military, but
Hmm.
definitely more, I guess, traditionally masculine than Ramesses, um who's great. I think he's great. They have great conversations.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think they were the first couple to fuck. Like they are
Quick
locked
with the
in.
quickness.
Okay.
With the quickness.
Get them out of the way. I was like, do I have a crush on Marissa's mom? Her
Oh
mom
my
was like
God.
so
She came in
OD. She was
and was just
crazy.
like, I've been scorned more than once,
Listen,
so I don't believe in any of these things. Sign a prenup and I'll be all right with whatever you do. Every time you
listen.
get married, she's
Out
like,
of
you could get married 10 times. Sign a prenup and I'll support you.
she came
Otherwise,
in ready. Like, okay, like whole backstory about them and everything. I feel like I learned more about Marissa through her mom being there and her siblings, but like
yeah.
super aggressive, very much out of like central casting. Like she had like the biker jacket and everything. She had that one shot of like her eating when she did the fork. You know how like when people do the fork outward and it's like really hard.
Hmm.
Like it was just like, oh, she's like tough as nails. Loves her baby, trying to get him to sign a prenup. Didn't even have to try. He was okay with getting a prenup. But for those two, I really appreciated their conversation about um the military and just religion.
Hmm.
Like they had a really good conversation, open conversation about that, and kind of highlighted especially for people of color, like the pride of serving in the military, but also the contradictions of it. And once you are more aware of how the U.S. has been in the world, how it has destabilized things, that was such an interesting conversation between the two about it. Because like Marissa does have pride in her military, but also is very aware, more aware now of like, yeah, how the U.S. has been, and he's also not gonna budge on like, hey, no, like no more military service, and like how he feels as someone coming from a country that has been terrorized
Mm-hmm.
by the US. So I really appreciated their conversation there. And then they're gonna have to figure that birth control thing out too, because I was like, oof,
What a way to finish.
what a
What a
way
way
to
to
finish,
finish.
right? I was
He
like,
was like, this was a
that would
conversation
be
until
it.
it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. So
That was
Marissa
fantastic.
wants a baby, and doesn't want to go on birth control, and Ramesses doesn't want to wear a condom. So, but doesn't want a baby. So
Right. That I'm just like,
right now, and I'm like,
this is
well,
this is what's happening. He was like, I don't know,
yeah,
but sex needs to be pleasurable. And it's like, man, I was like, Ramses, I was loving you until these little moments. But these are real conversations that folks have to have. Like birth control does have a solid impact on the body, depending on the person. And so I'm glad that he recognized that there were a lot of side effects that could have happened. And if that's the reason why Marissa got off of birth control and he respects it, and being like, well, the sex needs to be pleasurable. I'm like, well, there's other places to penetrate if y'all are
listen, there's
open
other
to it.
ways to
And
do
I
it.
I
Yeah, I'm
feel
like,
like both of you could be open to it. And I'm not opposed to it. So
yeah,
y'all will
yeah,
figure it out. And I think that's great. I do think it's great that Love is Blind has been highlighting the more serious conversations this season. We
letting
had
it go.
Hannah with the finance conversations. We had um, Taylor and Garrett talking about the moving conversation. We have Marissa Ramses talking about being in the military and sex and the religion. And I think it's
hmm
all great to finally
Oh,
see,
and masculinity and femininity and
yes,
just gender roles and
gender roles in general.
yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot of like gender role conversation too, to be like, well, who's going to do what? Or like, are you okay with staying home and things like that? I think this is the first time that we've had such a range of actually seeing those conversations,
Yeah.
because it's always been a question on the internet of like, have they discussed this? Have they? And now you're finally going through and discussing it and seeing the ways that it shows up. And that's been a breath of fresh air, honestly,
Yeah,
in
it's
terms of that.
refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
They've had really good full conversations about these
Mm-hmm.
things too. And just and the way they've worked through these perspectives, because even how he handled Marissa's friends,
Because they
and them, they're military
could
or,
tell the one
military
homegirl
adjustment.
in the middle that was military, because she was
Yeah.
just like, and what do you mean? And I was like, oh, you are about that
Yep.
life. You are 100% about that
Back
life.
all
Yep, got it.
straight. Yeah, it's ready to go. But that's the thing. Like it's a lot of contradictions, with being in that position because,
Mm-hmm.
again, Marissa's mom talked about how poor they were and everything. And, for a lot of Black and brown people, military service, I mean, the military is like the biggest employer, like there are a lot of benefits you get. Marissa's going through law school, but you also have to know, like she says, if you're on a ship and they launch a missile, like that's killing somebody, like you're a part of
Mm-hmm.
it. So, and that's where he's coming from, where it's like he's like, don't be ashamed of your service. However, like I don't want you to like continue to do it. Like I don't want you to be a reservist or any of that. Like he don't want that. So, and that's his boundaries. That's his
Mm-hmm.
morals and what he stands on. So yeah, love them. They're like the feel good couple. Let's get into Taylor and Garrett because you
Ah,
you mentioned them. These are our
I love Taylor and Garrett.
science
I love
folks
Taylor
again.
especially. I love
Yeah.
Taylor especially. I think they're so great. I love that Garrett's evolution over his sarcastic jokes, because Taylor would just eat him up.
hmm
And it took him a second to catch on a couple times. But to see his journey, because you could see him almost internally battling with like doing the right thing on both
Yeah.
sides. He clearly loves and cares for his family. He has clearly been close to them his whole life, fully respects them. He is focused on like his work and spearfishing, and that's really it.
Very
And
Fredericksburg.
so Fredericksburg, I was like,
So
even going to see the
Fredericksburg.
house, I was like, yeah, that's Fredericksburg. Everything about this is
Effort.
Fredericksburg.
I was like, oh.
And Taylor just seems so dope.
hmm
Just so dope. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's so
Very
funny,
San Diego.
very
Very
San
San
Diego, very
Diego.
smart, all of these things. And
hmm
like for her to be able to pull these things together, and I think seeing their progress and seeing their growth is really exciting.
hmm
I know that something's about to happen just based on the preview, but I hope it's one of those things where they just like doctored it up and it really wasn't
hmm
that big of a deal. But
Yeah. I
Taylor
think
seems great.
it's gonna be tough, or what the previews show of like it's really hard on his family, the just a
Mm-hmm.
prospect of Taylor wants to move back to San Diego and Garrett is with it, but also very family oriented and wants to be around his family, and they want him around. Like, first off, when
Mm-hmm.
Taylor went to go meet Garrett and his family, like, it felt so crowded. Like, I was like, it's not like the house was small or whatever, but I was like, oh, everyone's here. Like, it just felt like, okay, yep. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. They're right there. Such a mama's boy. She in those emails she'd be sending him, like,
I was cracking
you're
up
gonna
and he
move
was like,
out
"Yeah, my
there.
mom emailed." And I was like, "Emailed?
You know she is that swoop
Emailed?"
with that
She
swoop.
got that
She
hair done. When
is
she figured out she was going to be on camera, she went to the hairstylist and
mm-hmm.
said, "I'm about to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Make me
You're
look
gonna move
nice."
across country with a girl you just met. Like,
The cut to
his
her
family
being
are
dewy-eyed,
pressing her. Yeah.
all the dewy-eyed. Like I was sitting there, I was like, "What did
It's
she spray on her face before it like cut to her so that she could?"
she is, yeah. And listen, I get it. I get it. And he's trying to find that balance. Like, I felt him with the, like, how much do you tell your partner and your wife of, like, the flack you are getting from your family, like,
Mm-hmm.
just so they know that. But and he likes California. He's down with that change of pace. He would want to go back, at some point, which she's fine with. So it looks like they're good, but I feel like it is going to be Taylor's mom, it seems, that probably throws it, where he's like, I am not moving out here and show mama. And like, she seemed a little like, I was like, you either have parents that are with this and just
Mm-hmm.
really supportive, or, the parents that are like, rightfully, like, just, well, some of them can do this in different ways, though, because even like a Marissa mom, I don't think she's going to continue to be a problem. Like, she said her piece
Mm-hmm.
very clear on it. Whereas, like, Garrett's mama is just like, probably is emailing him, probably texting him, like, probably really guilting him about this. So I imagine if he goes out to San Diego and Taylor's mom is, you know, a lot, he might
Mm-hmm.
be like, I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, that's a sacrifice you got to make. It is still San Diego, so
I
you
mean,
could not see
it's,
her a lot, but
it's San Diego.
yeah, I don't know. Taylor's probably
We
close to
love
her
San
mom
Diego.
too, so that's one of those things. Like, it's not because this happens the way that it happens. It's like Garrett's like, do I want to marry into that? Like, some people are just like, when they meet the parents,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. There's a whole movie about meeting the parents.
Almost like a trilogy, honestly.
I
So
always think of I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? It's such
one
a
of the
good
best
movie.
lines. One of the
Hmm
best
You
lines.
just, yep, you just, then the bomb, bomb, bomb. All right, it's fine. I want to go back and watch it, but it's such a good movie. Can't say bomb on
Ah.
an airplane. Ah,
Oh
so good.
man.
Who else?
Let's go to Tim and Alex.
Hmm. Tim and Alex. Tim is a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia boy. I know he went to Norfolk State, served in the Navy guy. Um, got in, got out. He was like, the best decision was joining the Navy. The second best decision was getting out. And I was like, that is funny. Alex is Alex is pampered. I know
Mm.
who was it? Her grandfather was part of the Nation of Islam as like a treasurer or something like that. Something like
Mm-hmm.
that, high in the NOI. So, you know, they're interesting.
I'm so ready
What are your
to hear
thoughts?
this. Nope, I was ready to hear your
What are your
because
thoughts?
I
Because
knew you had
so
lots of thoughts
Alex
about
triggered
them.
me, because that
Yeah.
whole, like, that whole, like,
When?
he has been so, well, first off, Tim explained, and I was like, I don't know what Tim's sign is, but Tim being like, not with the shits, and then also just saying, like, if someone makes me mad, then it's like they've done something. He is very easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
When they left, like, whatever couple thing in Cabo, night that they had and everything, it was good vibes, no indication of anything crazy. I guess Alex explained it that she was tired and wanted to go to sleep. But she didn't communicate that to Tim. She's just like, I guess, was going back to the room. And mind you, like, the cameras didn't follow this. We just saw the aftermath the next day and heard that Tim didn't sleep with Alex in the bed that night. So they had an argument. Alex probably did say something probably reckless about Tim and everything. And they had to smooth that out. But I don't like, she's a little too moody for me and a little immature. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of red flags with Alex to me where I'm like, I don't think you're ready for this. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
really don't think you're ready for this. And I think Tim deserves better so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Tim's a good dude.
I agree with that. She just,
So,
I mean, there's the parts where it was like, all right, Tim, you made the joke enough. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. Knowing that dog shit was
relax,
like, all right, is he
relax,
a
we're
cute?
good.
Was that cute? I don't think he's
I
cute.
don't
Okay,
know.
he
I
didn't
wasn't
do
paying
any.
attention.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wasn't paying attention to that
Doing a
part.
lot of
But
Q-ish behavior.
right. But I I think that was the hard part. Like, man, did Tim shut down as a result of that fight. And the moment that she mentioned that she put her hand over his mouth, I was like,
Yeah.
I can only imagine what led to that point. I was like, to have
Mm-hmm.
something seemingly, obviously it was off camera, we didn't see it, all that, but
Mm-hmm.
for that to have happened, for it to escalate to the point that you put hands on somebody to try and get them to physically shut up, and him mentioning how he didn't feel like he could get a word in, he couldn't have all of these things, that was the most humble we had seen her the whole time.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she got him back in the good graces, she is now backing on the things that she is
Mm-hmm.
doing. And each of them just feel so off. Like,
Yeah.
you want it, you want it, you want it for them. You're like, ah, this is looking good, looking good. And then something is off, and
Mm-hmm.
something is off,
And
and
did you
something is wrong.
pick that up in the pod? So I didn't pick that up in the pods for real, and I
I
must have
did.
missed something.
I
Okay.
did.
I must have missed
Mainly
something.
mainly because of her facial expressions. And I was just like, I know exactly the type of person this is. And so sometimes he would say certain things or make certain jokes.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, either what's going to happen is either he's going to push her into like this new comfort zone because he is a bit more silly and he's a bit more
Mm-hmm.
goofy and all of this, but I can see the control
Mm-hmm.
that she has, and just like there's just like a level of seriousness, but also just a level of pettiness that is just unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think it's mainly the control part. I think she's used to being in charge. I think
Yeah.
she's used to being like her
Getting her way.
way.
Getting her way.
And I felt that in the pods. And so I was like,
Yeah.
this is either going to go one way or the other. And unfortunately, it did go the other. And then to have the preview into the next time where she meets his parents, and he went above and beyond
Oh
for meeting her
yeah. Oh
parents with
my
the barbecue
God.
and the food and the
Yeah.
conversations. Like, I
And that was
wanted to
such a
cry.
cute, yes, I kind of teared up. Like that was really sweet moment with her
It was
dad and
beautiful.
asking him for her hand in marriage and everything. And just also seeing that she gets it from her dad. Her dad is something, you know,
Hmm.
her dad, you could tell listen, you could tell he's something.
Yeah.
So
And then
I
for
know
it
she
to
gets it from
flip
that.
and have the preview of Tim saying, as soon as the cameras turned off, you just went to sleep. Like, my family's still here. And it's like, girl, I understand. I
It's
know these
crazy.
people. I know these people who, once they get tired, they have like a 10-minute window and they got to go. But it's just
Hmm.
like, ma'am,
Stay up for his
ma'am,
people.
if
That's his
he had done
people. Those
that
are
to
in-laws.
you,
Been
how would you have
crazy.
reacted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, her
Also, say
place.
yeah. I was like, you gotta say what you have in the notes here because I was like, yeah.
I was like, clean your room.
Oh,
Go upstairs, clean your room.
clean your room.
Clean
No,
your
you are dirty.
room.
I think that's dirty. I do think that that is dirty.
I
That
was like, you
level
have no
of
idea what
clutter
is hidden
is
underneath there.
dirty. My God, yeah, and that's my thing. Because she was trying to she's hedging her bets to that. She's like, yeah, I think no, I'm not dirty. I just,
She's like,
a
I'm
little messy.
messy.
Everything. No,
A
that
little
no,
messy. I would have
no,
walked
no,
into that
no,
and been like, absolutely not.
no.
Here's what we're not going to
So
do. Here's what we
nah,
are not going
yeah,
to. How
nah.
did you find anything in
It's
that? And
crazy.
you left your house like that
Right.
for
It
your
looks nuts
coworkers
in
to
there.
see on TV.
That's
That's the part that
crazy.
always gets me. Is like, you went on there, and now the people literally who can see into your house
Yeah.
have seen that this is the way that you live.
Isn't that nuts to leave
Nuts.
your house that way? Like,
Nuts.
I'm like, girl, that is not that is dirty. That is dirty.
Mm-mm.
That
Mm-mm.
is
She had the
it's
trash bags
a
where she
hordish.
was like, well, some of them I'm
Hordish. It's
selling,
hordish.
some of them I'm keeping,
Yeah,
some of them
nah.
I'm giving away, but I got to go through all the bags to figure out which one's which. What?
He just is patient as ever, just being like, okay, okay. Like
That's
I'm just like,
fine.
no, Tim,
It's
run.
okay.
Run, Tim.
It's okay.
Tim, get
I'm
out of
like,
here. Meanwhile,
Tim,
his place, so cute, so immaculate, like the
that
little
was
historical
the
nuggets.
best
So
man cave
it
I've
was
ever
one of the best
seen.
I've seen. Yeah, thoughtful.
Well
It
put
had
together.
like history, Black history. You had some military stuff. Like it was just really cool and all
Really
that.
well
And
done.
then listen, Tim,
Mm-mm.
please, please,
Tim, run.
Tim, run.
Tim, run. Run.
Run, Tim. Run, Tim, run. Like, whew.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, now we are in with the two who do you want to start with? The
Let's
two
start with Steven
worst
and Monica.
couples. Yeah.
Let's start with
Yes.
Steven and Monica.
Yeah. Okay. So Monica was a lot
A lot.
before we got to.
A lot. This is how I knew the prime. Like Ashley was cool, but
Mhm.
seeing the black women hang out together and seeing that it
Yeah.
was Ashley, Monica, and
Marissa.
Marissa. No,
Mhm.
no, Marissa never really hung out with them.
Really? No,
It
she
was
did.
she did, but like when they had the small group chat at
Mhm.
the pool party, it was Monica, Ashley, Alex.
Okay. I
And
mean, I know they switched it up a
I
couple
was like,
times, but I
they
was like,
did,
they
but
did their
that for
thing.
that
Yeah.
main
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
conversation, it was those three. It never felt like Marissa was like
Yeah,
fully
she's bubbly. She
with them.
everywhere,
She's
girl.
bubbling,
Yeah,
doing
she
all the
is.
things. But
Yeah,
those
talking
three,
to
I was like,
everybody.
this is prime DC. Prime
Mhm.
DC.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
look at
yeah,
these
yeah.
DC women together.
Yeah.
But Monica, girl, my main thing about the trip to Cabo was you're expecting this man to go out and buy you flowers on a vacation so
Oh,
that they can
she is
sit
a
in your hotel.
lot.
And then I saw that he did end up buying her flowers and then they left. And I was like, bro, you probably bought those flowers the day before. You wasted that money to then leave the flowers there for the cleaners to just throw it away or take it home. And I was just
Yeah,
like, girl, what? What? But
yeah.
also, how in the world did you think that it was cute that this man did ancestry and found out he was
Oh
like 1/8
my
black,
God.
1/32 black,
Oh,
and
white
he went
nigga.
out and did a bunch of research, and so that was really cute. And I'm like, bro, we could all tell that he had a little
I
black in
was
him
like,
because
you're
look at
like
his
fucking
hair.
Blake Griffin. Like
Look at his
he looked
hair.
like fucking Blake Griffin this whole time talking
Literally.
about he thought he was Italian. Nigga.
I
I
said,
was like,
sir,
white nigga, like get the
sir,
fuck like, sir,
in what world?
please.
In what world? So
Please, yo.
with that, with him openly telling you that he's cheated before, and she said sorry about the fact that he felt that he needed to cheat, and she was just
Yeah, this
okay
was
with it. That was
never a
the
good
biggest red
idea.
flag for me on Monica. I was like, no, Monica, you're not okay because you heard these two things
Mm-hmm.
and felt that they were okay.
Yeah.
And then he comes back later, talks about some problematic shit with Taylor about the DMs. We don't even know how he got
Yeah.
there. I don't know how they
He
edited
just be
this.
talking.
He
He just
does.
talking.
It
Got
drove her
so
crazy. She'd just be like, I
mad.
can't even speak
She
around you.
be
And I'm just like,
so
wow,
mad.
okay.
Yeah.
And
And
then
even
we
before
find
that, I was
out
like, he's clearly scared of her. And like
terrified.
he be
But
checking him and
I think he
everything.
loved
He's
it
so
because he
annoying. He
kept asking
did.
for her
He
to
did.
do nasty kinky things to him. And then all of a sudden she
Yeah.
found out that his dirty kinks, the dirty kinks that he was texting another woman about while he was drunk at a sleep test.
Every
Sir,
year they innovate. Every year. Remember the sunglass guy from last season with his like how he tried to do his little bar thing and he sent his location. This drunk sleep test. I was like, all right,
well,
what are we
of course I
doing?
was at a sleep test. Of course,
What
but
are
I
we
got a
doing?
little drunk and I'm like, at a sleep test?
And then he was like, that was last night. She was like, you text her today. And he's like,
He was like, oh, I deleted it. Also, Monica, for the future, you can go into the deleted folders and see stuff that's been there for 30 days.
oh.
These men are not going in here and checking the 30-day stuff. So for everybody who is worried about somebody who deleted their messages,
Look at your
go
little insider
down
tip.
into the messages. There is a 30-day
Little
folder that
insider tip,
holds
huh?
on to
You was
these
snooping?
messages for 30 days.
You was
30
snooping?
days. Need you to know.
You was
Just
snooping?
need you to know. No,
You're
because the
like,
way I don't leave receipts, that's the thing. Like I know this. I also know this with photos. So if they say this with photos as well, go back, check the deleted photos folder. It's near the hidden folders. So
yeah,
you're welcome.
that's so funny. How about that's an insider tip? Yeah,
Fun fact.
it's just fucking nuts. They were never gonna work. They were never gonna work.
Never. But
Never
also,
gonna work.
okay, answer me this. I was trying to figure this out. So obviously Taylor and Garrett were there when Monica was there talking, but then Steven was in the house. So whose apartment were they in when all of this was happening?
Oh, when it
Because
was going
that's
down.
wild
It was in
for Monica to be upset.
It was in Steven and it was I thought it was Steven and Monica's apartment.
Okay, it's their apartment, but they called Taylor and Garrett to come over and like
Monica's dramatic. Monica is a lot. Like I didn't like her even before this. Yeah, right. Triggered. Absolutely not. Like I feel like no, no. But she didn't deserve that either. And I felt like she was just gonna like will it to happen in a
Mm,
weird way where I'm like, girl,
mm,
you don't even like him. Sometimes she look at him so disgusted. And I was like, girl, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't
hmm.
have to do this. But I feel like she was just gonna,
But
like,
she was
again,
like,
push
I'm
us through.
36 and I need to be married.
Yeah,
She was at that
exactly.
I
And
need
she's
to be
just like,
married energy.
whatever.
And it was just like, all
Yeah.
right, girl.
Yeah. I never thought after they left the pods, like they really liked each other. Like he was a lot. He was a
He was just horny
fucking
for
lot
her.
and horny
He was just
and
horny
all
for
that.
her.
Oh
She was
my
just like,
God.
less poking me in the back. He was like, the wind can blow. And, and I'm like,
Some I saw somebody be like, shout out to that acupuncturist who had to sit through their whole conversation about his boners and being erect and all that. So, but yeah, that was shocking how that happened with the king
mm-hmm,
fetish and finding the texts and
mm-hmm,
everything, but like they were not gonna make it, or they were and they would break up later. Because I was like, Monica, you are, but well, both of them are willing this to happen. Like I feel like
mm-hmm.
Steven was,
Truly and completely.
yeah, Steven would have married her out of fear.
And because I
So
know
yeah.
as quickly as he figured out that she was not going to dominate
Mm-hmm.
him, he
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, I'll find it elsewhere. And did.
Yeah. I mean, oh, okay.
And
Because that
did.
was what he was alluding to before. Like there
The
was
whole
a lot
time
of
he was
that.
alluding
Yeah.
to that. The whole
I'm
time he was like,
That is so
no, like if
funny.
you tell me to like pull my pants down and do
Mm-hmm.
this and whatever, like
Piece of
I'm gonna
meat.
do it.
Mm, piece
And
of
I was
meat.
like,
All
sir,
this
and
stuff.
he said it multiple times in
Yeah.
different time frames of them. And it was like, I'm like, sir, you want the sex that Marissa and Ramses are having. Like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you want. I'm
Listen.
like, sir, I don't think you want a marriage. I think you just want to go in a BDSM relationship and to have that. Like, good for you to do that. But
Before we move on from them, Monica asking homeboy to Venmo the money over. I was like, good shit,
that's a
Monica. Get your
gangster
money
move.
back. Yeah, I
Gangster
love that.
move.
And do that before this is I'm
She
like
said,
in on camera.
he
I
said,
love
ping,
that. He's like,
ping.
yeah.
There you go. I was sitting there and I was like, I know she has the receipts. I know she has the money
Hell
added up.
yeah.
She's like, you
Hell
off by
yeah.
3 cents.
Because he like lost his job, right? He lost his job because
Hmm.
he did the show. So yeah,
And she
she
was
like
like
send
paying
me
for all
my
the things and
money.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, keep you afloat. Fuck out of here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, get that. Yeah. So hopefully she finds us somewhere.
I feel like
And
out
she
of this,
even I she'll
she'll
find
become like an
something.
NBA
Yeah.
wife, some sort of things. I could see it
Taylor
for
had
her.
mentioned to Garrett that, Monica had asked how Steven was doing, and they were talking about that being a testament to her character. I thought that was interesting she asked, but she wasn't so horrible. She was just a lot. Like yeah, she'll
Yeah.
find love.
Yeah. She
Um,
wasn't terrible,
yeah, no,
but
she just had some
a
moments where it's
lot.
like, hell no, but
It was a lot of
but
things where you were just
yeah,
like,
it's a lot.
question mark here. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's wrap this up
Oh
with the
man.
couple that we hoped
Man,
would
man,
be
man, man, man.
the couple we hoped, Ashley and Tyler. Now, so far, Ashley has continued to be wonderful. She seems
Yeah.
cool. She seems dope. She seems chill. She's got her values. She's got her core. She's doing the thing. She loved this man. Tyler seemed great. He's yelling from the rooftops that he's going to marry this girl.
Did
And
you
we
feel,
all,
did you feel that before we get to any of the stuff that's come out, did you feel like
yes,
but he said it in one of the things, like, I guess they had to be, were they in Cabo where he was like kind of alluding to like not believing the things that come out or said about him and stuff. And I was like, oh shit. Like something along the lines, he had said that to her when they got out of the pods.
mm-hmm,
And I was like, oh, like this is about to be
mm-hmm.
this, because it was too good to be true. Like I was
It
like,
was.
oh no, he is.
And that's why I feel like it was good that she actually had like an abstinence conversation with
Yeah,
him and was just
yeah.
like, here's what it's about to be and all of these things. So if you all haven't heard or haven't watched all the way up until episode 9, we've already given you a million spoilers anyway, but this is the spoiler of all spoiler alerts. So Tyler has 3 children. He on the show tried to spin it that he was a donor.
He also, for the folks who aren't going to watch this, but just
Mm.
listen, he never mentioned in the pods all that time, and she brought it up to him too. Like they talked about
Ever.
children and kids consistently a couple of times. I'm sure now with editing and them knowing, like those conversations made the show.
Mm-hmm.
He never mentioned having any kids, and then
Ever.
it comes out that he has 3.
And they
Not
talked
one,
about kids a
2,
lot.
3.
3, and they're like young,
Yeah,
like under
yeah,
2, I think,
yeah.
allegedly.
They're like younger. Yeah, they're definitely toddlers and
Yeah. And so it's said that he was a sperm donor, says that he has 3 kids, but then we get all of these photos on the internet of him being very involved in their lives and doing family photos and wearing like dope dads raise dope kids and just
that man is a father.
in
Okay.
there. I'm
That man
like,
is a father.
sir. Like it could be one thing. Here's the thing. Here's the way that it could work. It could be the one thing where like say it was close friends, or say it was like 2 queer women that he was good friends with, and they were like, we want to keep it within our friend group and have the things and do whatever. So he is involved in their lives in that way.
Hmm.
But that was not the case. His was
Yeah.
guilty on all charges, guilty on all accords, all the things. But that's the main way that I could see you still being in like somebody's life, or like it's your best friend or
Yeah.
something
It could
that's
be
very
a
specific,
known donor situation
but
where
you would
you're
explain
around.
that
Yeah,
at the beginning. It wouldn't be something that
exactly.
you're upset with. You're like, hey, by the way, I do have a kid, but it's not my kid. It just has my genes. I did this thing. I am very involved in their lives so that they all know what is
Yeah.
happening. Here we go. You wouldn't keep
Yeah.
it a secret. You wouldn't be
No.
hiding it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. And he looked like a little kick puppy.
And that's like the manipulative part of it where it's just like, good God, like you knew what you were doing. Like y'all had
Hmm.
conversations about kids, like how they gonna look. Like y'all had, deep conversations about children, not just like, oh, do you want to have kids? When? Like they didn't have just those kind of conversations. They had deep conversations. There was no reason for him to bring up again if it was a sperm donor situation where there's nothing wrong with that, but she also deserves to know. Um, you didn't bring him up at all. And again,
Hmm.
even for her, it's like it's not just one, it's 3 kids. It's three
And
kids.
allegedly, he owes money to these families. He owes child support. So it's like if they're not your kids, if you were a sperm donor, you wouldn't owe child support. You wouldn't owe people large sums of money. You wouldn't be doing all of this. So
Yeah.
that's the part that gets me. The internet did what the internet had to do. Got receipts, got a grandmother, one of the grandmothers involved
Grandma.
on Facebook using hashtags. Like,
Hmm.
go ahead, grandma.
Yeah. And so at this point, what do you think? Well, first off, I am saddened how these things happen to Black
Mhm.
women on this show consistently,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They got to be doing this on purpose. There's no way they miss this. Like
The
people
background
have
checks,
talked about the background checks. They have to be doing this on purpose
they
at this
have
point.
to. They should be like, oh, well, this drama is going to make it spicy. You're doing
Yeah,
something
because then
because
you
it
could even
literally,
edit the
you
show
can't
that
miss
way.
this.
Can't. You can't.
That's wildly out of control, especially with him being a sperm donor. It would have had to be on the birth certificate, and that would have been
Hmm.
in a background check. I don't know. I don't work for security. I can do the
Not
things, but
that
I would assume
there would have been a way to find out about that. There's ways
yes.
to find out if you, yeah, there's
That
ways to
that's a
find
big
out.
miss.
Yeah,
Big, big miss.
yeah. I wonder what they do with their background checks. Like, I really do wonder,
Hmm.
you know? And it's kind of crazy because it's like you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they just keep having these big breaks and like niggas be like engaged. We got families. Like, it's just like, come on. Like, I don't know. But it's also like, again, like that makes for the show because we watch this and inevitably once we get through these episodes, we're like, what's going to come out about these people? Like it's now a part of the show is to find out that these people aren't who they say they are. And
Hmm.
now, you know, get the Lachey's ready. They're gonna be
I'm
the
screaming.
Lachey's. They're gonna have
Screaming.
their fake mad questions at this reunion
Literally,
in a
that
couple
Vanessa is gonna sit
episodes.
and raise her voice to be like,
Yep.
but then, and we'll be
How
like, here
dare
we
you?
go.
I
Here we
hope
go.
Vanessa goes like goes Tyra with it and just
Tyra
be
Banks
like,
with it.
yeah.
We were all
How
rooting
dare
for
we
you.
were rooting for you, all that. Like it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how that and I hate that for Ashley. I hate that for Monica having a piece of shit like Steven wasting her time. Like, yeah, did she wait, did Monica connect with anybody else? I can't think of the earlier
No, I
episodes.
think
It was just
Steven was like
Steven
her
for real,
main.
right?
And I liked her in the pods because she was like
Yeah.
catching on to other people's things. Like she clocked
Yeah.
Leo immediately and she clocked other
Yeah.
people immediately. And I was like, yes, girl, on it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Getting the
I liked her
things.
in the
And then
pods. Yeah.
and then she started talking to Steven. And I said, where'd it go?
Mm,
What
mm, mm, mm.
happened? As
I
soon
hate
as
this
he
for
said that thing,
Ashley.
About being black, I can't.
That was just wild. It was funny as fuck because again,
I
it
would
was just
have
like
left
you
the pod. I would have been like, "You're
look
what?"
like Blake Griffin, my guy. You like what you mean you had to take ancestry tests? Like walking around like a whole white nigga out here. Like get the fuck out of here. Has a
Hollering,
fade and shit.
hollering.
But I hate this for Ashley. I hate this for the scene with her dad and everything. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, Tyler better watch out. This
Mm-hmm.
DMV, I don't know where he is. But it's just like, why would you do that? Like that is such a waste of like you ruin somebody's experience. And I hate how they be doing that. I hate that. I hate it. But they just it's like built into the show, it feels like at this point. And yeah, it's frustrating. I hate that. I hate that for Ashley, for sure.
Agreed.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm.
I'm sorry. The Brittany and Leo Miami thing was funny too, though.
I really
Brittany
just
said,
want to know.
I don't want to go to Cabo, but I will go to Miami.
Right.
And I
And
was
I
just
was just
like,
like,
okay, Brittany.
okay.
But
I was
even
like,
when
so
she
y'all
read
were
her
never
little
going to
letter,
Cabo.
she read her letter and was like, okay, like still,
Right.
still
Like
proceeded.
after
It's
she
just
was like,
like,
hey, you hurt me. I can't trust you. I don't know how I can be with you. But babe, I
mm-hmm.
already picked out your ring. Do you want to get married? Okay.
Yeah, so
Girl.
funny.
And she's like, I think I
It's
made
so
the wrong
funny. She was
decision. And
gonna
I'm
do
like,
it. She was gonna do it if he wasn't so fucking weird because she was gonna do that whole like, just I mean, again, he flaunted as well, so she knew that he was loaded, but he was
mm-hmm.
so weird. He is such a weirdo, that Leo.
Are you cold?
Mm.
Because I'd give you my jacket. Do you still want my jacket?
He
Sir.
told her she don't have to say that she loves him. Like he was fine. He was like, she is fine. Like Leo was
Mm-hmm.
gonna marry Brittany no matter what. Like
Yep.
no matter what. So yeah, I'm glad she has had some intuition to not continue with that. She did
Oh
need to
my
go to Miami
goodness.
though, apparently. So she was like,
Like, what's in
need to
Miami?
go to Miami. I know, so
What's
specific. I
happening?
was like, you don't wanna. It's so funny.
So confused.
Miami. So yeah. And also I thought it was funny at the Hannah and Nick reveal where it was like she was so scared in the pods that he wouldn't like her because of her looks. And I'm like, turned out, girl, you don't like him. Like initially, because
Mm-hmm.
his looks with him being short and all that. So I thought that was also really, really funny. So
That was hilarious.
yeah,
Both of you sold the
so funny.
cheerleader football story, and then it was like, ah, look at this.
Look at this.
Mm.
Yeah. Who do you think is who at this point do you think is like the next to drop out, if anybody? I mean, we know we could kind of infer from the the previews that Ashley and Tyler are not going to
They
continue. I
should
think
not.
she goes to like the party to tell them about
Mm-hmm.
him, and then that's it. Because ain't no way.
Ain't no
But
way.
like outside of them, and maybe they won't drop off before the altar, or maybe actually, yeah, just your predictions for now. Like I don't think, as of now, I don't think that Hannah and Nick make it.
No,
Yeah,
no. There's no
yeah,
way that Hannah and Nick
I
can
don't think
make
they
it.
do.
I I don't think Tim and Alex make it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll see about Taylor and Garrett. It's really just
Mm-hmm.
Marissa.
I
They
was
might
like,
have one
if it's
wedding.
like today, then it's like, ah, Taylor and Garrett could make it. Marissa and
Yeah.
Ramses are 50-50. And definite
You think
no's are Tim
so?
and Alex and Hannah and Nick.
Yeah. Hannah and Nick, nah. They once they these upcoming episodes, it's always when they get to see the other people that they dated in the
Mm-hmm.
pods. That's when they
That's always the
shit
mess.
gets yeah.
And I love it.
Hmm.
I love that Marissa was like, oh, is that Bodhi? I just feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, well,
Yeah.
it's
Didn't
unfortunate.
look it. Didn't look it. So very interesting. Yeah. Ugh, Love is blind.
Love is blind. Gets
God
us
damn
every time.
it.
Gets us every
Every
time. I
time.
explained to my mom what it was because she doesn't really like watch TV very much. So I
Hmm.
explained it to her and she's like, you find joy watching this? I was
That's
like,
so
I do.
funny.
I do, mom. I was
Yeah.
like, this is one of the only reality TV shows I watch. I am dedicated and committed. Thank you so
Religiously.
much.
Yeah. My older sister said it gave her anxiety. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
a
But
little
all
bit.
reality shows do for her. Like she can't watch like housewives or anything with like fighting or
Mm.
anybody making she was like also those grand statements. Like just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It just
Where
be
it's like, you've
sounding
been
so
here for
wild.
5 days. What?
5 days. I've never been with someone I've never argued with. It'd be some wild shit. Like it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never I've never felt this way on a Wednesday before. It's like, oh, okay.
You're like,
I don't
okay.
know what that means.
Mhm.
And then they start crying and shit. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. So,
Like, you just see
God bless
me.
that show. Yeah.
My
It's
love
like,
for
no, you
macaroni.
can't see me. Right. You sent me a salad. It's just
Oh my
wild stuff.
God, put chicken
Yo,
on it.
Nick asking Hannah if she would get surgery. It was crazy. That they are not gonna make it.
Not gonna make
They
it.
are not gonna make
Not
it.
gonna make it. And even
Yeah.
if they did get through the wedding, they're not. By the time we get to the reunion, they're not there.
They're
They're on
not
the
there.
opposite couches.
Yeah.
More
Mm-mm.
opposite couches.
Nah. This is gonna be
So
a wild reunion.
yeah, I'm very
Wild.
excited.
Very wild. All right.
Well,
Whew, I think we
this
did.
went way longer than expected. So y'all,
Mhm.
we apologize. No, am I a bad queer today? We're just gonna
No.
go ahead and do our bad queer
It's a game
opinions,
on.
and then we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you for coming to us with our.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave us 9 episodes. That's wild, and we
Yeah.
can see why they had to give us 9 episodes. So
Yeah.
had to do the deep
Jesus.
dive. You know we love this. So
Yeah.
what type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? And I blame my bad queer opinion on Love is Blind as well. So once again, work with me here. You know how some men be like, "Oh yeah, like I'm a lesbian, blah blah blah." We're not talking about those men who self-proclaim themselves as lesbians. I am saying that some cis men are lesbians, and it's something that we just have to accept. Is one of those where it's like you look at the guys and it's like if he wasn't with you, he would most likely not be with somebody of the opposite sex, and vice versa probably for you if you're dating him. I know a lot of bisexual women who are like, no, he's like my perfect little lesbian, and that's the main way I can stay happy dating him. Otherwise I'd be dating women. um Things like that. I'm just like some of the guys like I hate that I'm saying this, but Marissa picked the men who could be
You were
lesbians.
so stupid.
Okay, Marissa
You did
picked
this whole
Bodhi
thing about.
and Ramses, and I'm like, these two were the most fluid. I was like, Bodhi, not you being
Yeah.
assumed to be like some frat bro. I was like, in what world? In
Yeah.
what
No
world, my
one thought
guy?
that. Those little ass
Nobody thought
shorts.
that. I said, sir, absolutely not. And I love that she did with a sight unseen. I love that she picked the guys who were more open, more fluid, more all of these things. I was like, I love it. I love it. And those would be the guys where I'd be like, ah,
Yeah.
you're the lesbians because we make exceptions for you because y'all are solid. Like Bodhi being rejected was one of the best conversations to have. Like Ramses and all of these conversations, he is very in tune with a lot of the things. I was just like, they have a bit of above average emotional intelligence. They've probably been to therapy. There's just some things that happen here.
Yeah.
But I have a few friends who I've actually been talking to about this where I'm just like, you're queer. And they're like, I do know I'm queer, but this is the one man that I would date. That one man is the lesbian. And I
Yeah.
love that. I love that we have
Yeah.
these guys in the world. And I love that we have like a Ramses representation because their gender fluid conversation and things like that was great. So say all of this joking and funnily, but also
I do
they're
think,
there.
yeah. They're
They're
there.
there.
They're out there. God bless them. They're out there.
Like we need some of them. And I appreciate y'all.
Shout out to Ramses. Who I just
The fact that he
maybe it's
sat
the Prince
so
of Egypt in
chill
me. He's
during the
Ramses. Sorry.
conversation.
It's just Ramses.
Just Ramsey. Got it.
Ramses. I can't. It's
Okay.
Prince of
I
Egypt.
mean, you could have just said Rams. That's the other nickname that they have. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
love Prince of
Ram is
Egypt,
so
so it's
weird.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. So
I'll
that's
watch
not
it
a
forever.
thing.
I'll rewatch it.
It's so
Just for
good.
you. Just for you.
It's so good. I can't believe y'all was trying to well, the episode's not out yet, but
Hmm.
y'all was trying to jump me about the
Hmm.
animated musical thing. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
no.
That's
We
so
said what we said.
different.
We
It's
said what we said.
so different.
Said
It is
what
so
we said.
different.
Okay,
Like
don't you
y'all
worry.
would not have adult animation or just animation in any category
Said
with like real
what we
people.
said. So what we said. Please stay
Whatever.
on topic. What is your backward opinion?
Whatever. We were on topic there. You're done with your Prince of
I've made
Egypt
my point.
take?
I've made my point,
Yep.
yes.
I don't have a backward opinion.
Mm.
Nor community note. Although a friend told me that last week's community note was it was not a community note. They were like, do not encourage that. Don't post that nowhere. Your community note. That was not a community note. They were like, do not encourage folks. That is not a thing y'all should be posting.
Thank you for
Yeah,
your feedback.
no.
Thank you for your feedback.
I don't really have any backward opinions. I really don't. I just want y'all to vote. I just want y'all to vote.
And that's fair. For some
I
people,
don't want
that
to hear
would be a
y'all talking
backward
about nothing
opinion.
else. I don't want to hear y'all for at least a couple weeks. We're gonna pick up after this, but just go vote.
Mm-hmm.
Just go vote.
Please just do that.
I don't have anything.
And please don't waste your vote either. Like, people be thinking that it's okay, and it's like, this has long-term repercussions. And just because I feel like a lot of folks this election season don't see the long-term picture that we are trying to set things up for, because they're just like, right now, I don't like anything. And who was it that did the example about how you're not going to like every single thing, but you're going to like most things? Somebody did a really good
Somebody did something. I know they've used that before.
Yeah. And it was just like, you're going out to pick the person that you like the most, but you're not going to like everything that they do. And it is a long-term strategy play. So
it is. I mean, if anything, it should be also like, you've seen what has happened since 2016 when Trump was elected, and like how the repercussions of that, like even just this year, like a lot of the tax changes that he made now blew up. And people are like, oh, he didn't cut taxes for the middle class or working class and all that. He only did it for the rich. Oh my God. Wow. He lied?
Wow. It was like, some of you weren't here for the peace that was the Obama administration.
Yeah.
For 8 years.
Yeah. Relative peace, but
relative, yes, relative, but
yeah,
much calmer, much more relaxed.
Yeah. You think about that in hindsight, though, how it actually wasn't like that was like the rise of like the Tea Party and all that stuff going on.
There's a lot of things happening because
a lot of things, but we were partying, so like it was a good time for us. Like it was.
Look, really I was like, thanks, Obama. I was able to have my surgery still on my parents' stuff because I had it right when I was 26, and I said, thank you, Obama. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, see. All those things matter too. Like Kamala was on The View talking about like making it so that you can like insurance will cover like a caregiver.
Yeah, like a home health care.
A home health care. Yes. Yeah. And that's huge. That is so, again, another nonpartisan, like happens to us all. We have aging parents. She called it like the sandwich generation of, older folks taking care of their parents, but also their kids. Like it is so. Oh shit is so fucked up out there. So again, even when she mentioned this week, like she would put a Republican in in her cabinet, and of course that angered some people. And it's just like Obama did it too. It's like it's supposed to be bipartisan, a lot of these things, because all of them work for us. So like she is gonna put somebody in with a good idea that might happen to align themselves in the Republican Party. I feel like it's gonna be Liz Cheney, if we're being honest. I feel like that's the Republican she's gonna put in. Like, thanks, Liz. But yeah, there's so much more than just a presidential election. It's like what you vote for. Like we gotta show up for all of these Congress races. Like it's so much going on. So just don't waste your vote. Please just go vote and be serious about this. It has so many implications and everything. And if we fuck this up again, I mean, it's gonna take decades to turn this around, and who knows what America will look like then and all that. So that's it. Just go vote. Don't waste that vote.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. My shout out this week goes to Black in the South Summit, a one-day event convening in New Orleans. Black in the South Summit aims to address HIV in the Southern U.S. among the Black community. You can follow and attend in the future. I think it's happening, if it hasn't happened already, at Black, spelled BLK, in the South Summit on IG.
All right, my shout out is to Boi Swap, a style hub and in-person shopping experience that centers, affirms, and inspires the Black trans masc and mask presenting communities in LA. Follow them on IG at Boi Swap LA.
All right, y'all. Thank you for coming with us on that deep dive. What a good time. Don't worry, we'll have our next one very soon.
Drunk sleep test.
We'll get the last half of the things. Fucking drunk sleep test. Get the fuck out of my face.
It's so crazy.
Sir, drunk sleep test.
So
y'all, don't use that as an excuse, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
I'm sorry that I'm